Welcome to Make Things Happen with Diana Pagano. I came from struggle, living life on survival mode, and later found myself living in that same vicious cycle. Life is meant to be so much more than settling. My life changed when I learned the power of your mindset and how it applies to every part of your life. I'm a business leader, speaker, and author. I have made it my life's mission to share all the tools and techniques that changed my life because I know they will for you too. All your hopes and dreams really lie in the how. How are you making things happen? Are you ready to stop dreaming for what could be and turn those dreams into reality? I thought so. Well, get ready to live life on your terms. Welcome to Make Things Happen with Diana Pagano. Today we're going to talk about how you're going to end the year strong. We got 30 days left of 2024. And if you thought that you did what you did and that nothing else can happen or you cannot succeed any more than maybe you've already have, I am here to tell you, you absolutely can. Or maybe you're feeling like, hey, I didn't do all the things that I wanted to do by now, so there's always next year, right? There's this whole facade. We got to wait till January because we get a clean slate, right? And we can start over with our dreams or our goals because we didn't accomplish all the things that we wanted to accomplish in 2024. I'm here to tell you that you can end the year strong and end it with a big bang. The next 30 days, I want to challenge you to start looking at the last 30 days of 2024 and say, what can I do to really end the year strong? Very impactful. There's still time, you guys. It's not over. It doesn't matter if you didn't get the things you wanted to get done yet in 2024. And it doesn't matter that in January 1, you're going to have a clean slate. It starts today. It starts now. How could you end the year strong so that you can start the year strong? I'm telling you, I've been there where I felt like, oh my gosh, I didn't get all the things I needed to get done. But you know what? Thank goodness there's a new year around the corner, right? We have this sense of feeling that we get to start over, that we get to have a clean slate and go again. Bullcrap. You can do it now. The time is right now. When you have 30 days left of 2024, what are some of the things that you could do now to empower your dreams and your goals and all the things that you didn't get to do? Maybe you didn't finish. Or if you did finish your goals, well, then you overachievers, amazing. Get on YouTube and start sharing your story of how you made that happen. In fact, if you're ending the year strong and you feel good about how you're ending the year, go bigger. Get that momentum. Do the cherry on top so that by the end of 2024, you even surprise yourself and say, wow, I thought I accomplished so much. Now look at me. Right? It's all the things that you do, the little things, the big things, and all of it matters. It all contributes towards your overall goal. So I'm going to give you 5 things that will help you to really end the year strong and to start the year strong. Don't wait until January 1st, January 2nd to get back in your office to then start writing down all your things that you have to do. Let's do it now. Let's do it today. And you know what? If you have written things down, get that notebook again and start reevaluating. So number 1 is going to be just that. Let's reevaluate what's going on. What are the things that you did right in 2024? And what are the things that didn't go so great for you? What are the lessons learned? Maybe you feel like you failed on some of the things that didn't go right. We all go through those, right? All those emotions of should have, could have, would have, but we didn't. You can't go into 2025 or end the year strong if you're going to be too busy looking in the rearview mirror of all the things that you could have, would have, and should have, but that you didn't. Number 1 thing is to reflect on the year 2024. Don't wait until 2025. You guys do it right now when you have 30 days left of the year. I don't care if you're watching this YouTube and it's 2 weeks into December of 2024 or whenever you're looking at this video, you can still do it, right? Reevaluate. What are the things that you got done in 2024? What went right? You got to celebrate those victories. If you celebrated those victories throughout the year, bravo. Celebrate it again. You have 30 days left to end the year strong. Number 1, reevaluate what went right. What are those things that contributed towards the successes? This allows you to really reflect, you guys, on the recipe for success is already there. And sometimes we're so busy with our lives that we don't stop and say, wow, I did do that thing with that person, or I collaborated with a team member. I brought somebody into my journey to help me with that thing. You got to stop and you have to reflect on all the successes that you had in 2024, all the things, maybe the decisions that you made that really empowered you, maybe the things that you said no to that really propelled you forward to accomplish more. What are the distractions you got rid of? You got to bring that to light and be proud of the decisions that you made that brought you those successes. It's huge. And then, it's my least favorite, but it's a very necessary evil. You have to look at what are the things that didn't go so great. And I say that, guys, because I'm always of the mindset of let's look forward. You can't control what happened yesterday, but you can move forward. However, I also very strongly believe that you got to look at what are the things that didn't go so great? What are the things that maybe you feel you failed on? And what did you learn from it? If you said, this went wrong, I don't really know what lesson I was supposed to learn, it wasn't fair, then you're missing something. I know it's hard for you to swallow maybe, but you gotta reflect very candidly, very transparently with your emotions and let it all out and just really reflect on what are the things that you could control. Was it something external? What are the lessons? Even if you didn't control it, there's always lessons to be learned on what are the things that didn't go right. Did you not plan right? Did you forget to plan the thing? Did you forget to make the calls? Or did you just not want to make the calls that needed to be made? Why is that? Reflect, guys, right? You got to look at both sides. I don't like to spend a lot of times on the negatives and what didn't go right, but it's not always a negative thing if you're learning something from it and you move forward and you're done. You're done. End the year strong by reflecting on what went right and what are those successes and what did you learn from those? It's not always the failures or the challenges that we're going to learn from. It's also the successes that happen, the highs, the things that went right. Reflect on why did it go right? What are the things that you're going to mimic and repeat in 2025? The successes out there, you guys. There's clues everywhere. But when you're going so far into the tomorrow and today and all the tasks that need to be done, you got your head in the sand. You're not always able to see clearly and to really reflect on the good as well, right? So reflect on what are the things that went right and then reflect on what are the things that could have gone better. Maybe some things didn't work out. What are the lessons learned? And what are you going to do differently, right? Because lessons learned really doesn't do anything unless it's applied knowledge from the lessons that you learned. When you apply, what am I going to do differently? What are you going to do differently now that I learned XYZ? Maybe you trusted somebody. Maybe it was a business partner. Maybe it was a coworker. You trusted somebody and you realized that you surrounded yourself around the wrong people. Maybe that's a lesson learned, and what are you going to do differently? You're going to be more mindful and choosy who you surround yourself with. Maybe you didn't go to the gym the way that you used to. I've been guilty of that. And now you can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do different because I felt so much better when I went. Right? What are you doing for your mental health? What are some of the things that maybe you did do this year that went good, that you noticed a difference, right? There's all these things that help you make things happen. It's not just the business or the clients and the customers that you're seeing. It's also you. It starts with you. So you got to reflect on what went right and what went wrong, not just what the lessons that you learned, but what are you going to do differently? Regardless if it's somebody else that dealt you a bad hand, it's how you react to those challenges that will always determine what comes next for you and your outcome. Always. Just changing your attitude and saying, you know what? Everything in my life happens for my greater good. I have been saying this mantra forever. And even the things that are ugly, even the things that I don't like or make me uncomfortable have challenged me to no end. Really, I had to say this is happening for my greater good. And maybe this will be a chapter in my next book. Truly, right? So that's number one. And the second thing to end the year strong is set one specific, impactful goal. Don't wait until January to start setting yourself up. Don't start until the new year to set up, the membership at the gym like everybody does. Everybody knows, and all memberships go up like skyrocket at all the gyms because it's a New Year's resolution. I'm going to get fit, and everybody's motivated. There's this like motivation aura in the air. All of us get it in the start of the year, clean slate. I'm going to go big. I'm going to do this thing. Don't wait until then. In fact, when you do it now, at the end of 2024, you take action. You start the year even stronger, you guys, right? So what is one goal that you could do in the next 30 days of 2024 or the last 5 days? I don't really care. Just do it now. Don't wait until next year. Do it now. What is one goal that you could focus on accomplishing for yourself? You know what that is. And I think that when you reflect and you're able to see what is one thing that I could do that's going to make the most impact? Because there's probably 7 things you could think of, but what's one thing out of all the 7 that is going to make the most impact for you? If it means setting yourself up for that membership at the gym versus waiting for January, if it means that now you're going to start meditating to really get your mind right, if it means you're going to pick up that book and you're going to read a chapter a week, right? Start small. It doesn't have to be every day. If it means calling 5 customers to tell them, thank you for your business in 2024, and I look forward to meeting you in the new year, right? Like there's always something you could do. If it means spending 10 minutes every single day reviewing your biggest opportunities in your business so that you can start the year strong, then that's what it means. It doesn't have to be big or nothing's too small. If it makes an impact, it makes a freaking impact for you. Make a goal for yourself and say in the next 30 days, this is how I'm going to end the year strong with doing one thing. Life is too short, you guys, to play it safe or to just get by or to live mediocre. You can go big. You have everything that you need to be successful right now. And what I mean by going big, it's not like you have to climb this big mountain. All it is readjusting your priorities, reflecting, as I said, number 1, what are the things that are working for you and what are the things that aren't working for you? If you know that now I need to do X, Y, Z different, I need to do this one thing differently, then do it now. Why wait till next year? And even science will show that when you start taking the right action that you believe will make an impact, the second and the third step will be even easier, right? Just take that leap of faith and knowing that when I do certain activity, you're going to boost your confidence. I mean, that's just in and of itself will be so helpful. And you're proving to yourself that you're committed and that you're going to do this thing. The energy around you, everything changes. When you're like, I'm going to be that person to end the year strong while other people are just relaxing and just having fun with the holidays. I'm not saying don't have fun with the holidays and spend time with the people that really matter most to you. I think that's very important. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've been going so darn hard that you need to take time off. Maybe you say, you know what? I'm going to take the last 2 weeks of the year off. I've never done that, right? Maybe that's what you have to do because that's going to make the most impact for you and your well-being to recharge and come back. What is that one goal that you can commit to in the last 30 days of the year? And like I said before, if you're listening to this podcast and there's a week left of the year, it's never too late to call that customer and set up that lunch meeting for January. Don't wait until January. Do it now. Do something that you know is going to make a huge impact in your life, whether it's in your personal life, for your well-being, your mental health, your physical health, or if it's about your business. It doesn't matter. Just do something. I've had people say, can I do one thing for my personal and one thing? Absolutely. You're going to get up an hour earlier. You're going to go to sleep half an hour earlier. You're going to stop looking at your phone first thing when you wake up. So I've always been guilty of that. And I just saw this thing and I'm like, gosh, I'm going to start doing that. You wake up in the morning, don't pick up your phone for 20 minutes and you just breathe and you look at the window and you just are in a state of gratitude. Even if it's that one thing every day, the last 30 days of the year, I'm going to wake up in gratitude and I'm not going to look at my phone for 20 minutes when I wake up. Even if it's that little, it'll make a huge impact for you. So there's always so many things that you can come up with. I know you can, but if you do one thing, I'm telling you, by the end of the year, by the start of the year, you're going to look back and say, wow, I'm so glad and I'm such a better person for it. And I'm so much further ahead than I would be had I not started this. And the third thing is declutter, right? We got so much stuff everywhere and you might be a neat freak, but there's always something you can do to clear your plate. There's always things, maybe in the office, I got papers sometimes that are just there for months and I'm like, okay, it's time to get rid of this. Some of it's trash, some of it just needs to be filed away. Maybe it's your room, maybe it's your house, right? What are the things that are just a distraction for you? There's something to be said. There's this saying that like if you have dirty laundry and you ring in the new year with dirty laundry, supposedly it's not good. So I would focus on what are the things that you could declutter from your home or your home office or your office, whatever it is. What can you do to ensure that you have a clean slate and what is in your surroundings really does matter. I'm big with feng shui, you guys. So I do feel that your home should be almost like your vision board if you've ever done a vision board. And if you haven't, wait for the next episode on that. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, just declutter. Look at your surrounding. What does your nightstand look like? Is it full of papers and things? right? Is maybe even your sink in your bathroom. I know my husband comes home and he throws things there, and I've got this like container and I just throw all his stuff in there because I got tired of looking at it. So believe it or not, you have to just look at your surroundings. What are some of the areas that are cluttery? Maybe it's your car. It's been proven that when you have a messy office or you have a messy home or whatever, that you're going to be less clear. It affects your clarity, believe it or not. And you feel so much better. I know sometimes when I've had piles of stuff and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to start sometimes, right? But you start somewhere and you start to feel better. So end the year strong by decluttering all the crap that you don't need anymore. Donate it, put it in boxes, even if it goes in your garage for now, since you don't have time to go to the Goodwill or wherever you need to go, to just get it out of your house, get it out of your office. You're going to feel so much better. Don't wait until next year. Do it now. The fourth thing that is an absolute must, and this is not in any which order, you guys, number 4 is your mental health. What can you do for your mental health right now? What are the things that may have affected your mental health? Who can you say no to? Even if you make them mad, right? You got to prioritize you, because nothing in this world matters more than you. Not your significant other, not your kids, not your customers, without you being whole, right? Take care of yourself, and your mental health is a driver. It's how you view the world. It's what are the things that are affecting you? Who are you hanging around with? I mentioned this earlier, that might be affecting your mental health. You got to focus on you and make sure that you're good. And if you don't feel like you've been so great, what are the things that you're going to do now? How are you going to end the year strong and ensure that you're taking care of your mental health? If it means doing yoga, if it means meditating. Some of you are like, I've never done this before. There's so much YouTube videos on meditation, and the power of meditation is wonderful. It allows you to center yourself and just have that clarity. And even if you just do breathing techniques, if you say, I'm going to do one breathing technique every day or every week, heck, you're going to learn and you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. It allows me to have clarity. It allows me when I'm going so fast or I'm getting disappointments here and there about my business or anything. It allows you to just kind of center yourself, because you're not a machine. Just like we sleep, we have to sleep. In fact, when you sleep, you detox your body, right? That's when your body goes to work. And even when you're going and you're driving, take a moment to just breathe. Just doing that allows you to relax and to be able to take on the world and take on the kids and the business and the customers and all the responsibilities that you might have. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, that's a full-time job in and of itself. So what can you do to make sure that you're good, that you're solid, that you're strong, that you're bringing the right mindset to the table? And even if you feel that you're doing well with your mental health, great. What can you sustain? How do you stay on that wavelength? How do you make sure and sustain that? There's something that you should be doing on a daily basis, you guys, if you may not realize it, that's going to impact you so much. If it's breathing, if it's meditating for 5 minutes. I know you have 5 minutes a day. I know you do. So make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. If it means reading a book, like I said before, a chapter a week, a sentence a day, it's going to make a difference, because it's going to be that one sentence that you had to hear today. I'm telling you, you do these things, you're going to end the year strong, and you're going to start the year so pumped and already with some good things in your toolkit of what you're going to do differently. To end the year strong and to start 2025 with a big bang and you started off great is you got to write a goal for next year. What are your plans for 2025? If some of you already did that, fabulous, you're ahead of the game. Add to it and say, what are the things that I need to make sure I have in place to ensure that my goals come to fruition? What are the support that you need? What are the things that you have to do, right? It's oftentimes people don't understand the power of writing down what goals you want to accomplish in the year. And oftentimes I've asked them, like, where do you want to be by the end of 2025? What does it look like for you? And they look at me oftentimes completely lost, like deer in headlights. And I'm like, well, there is such power, you guys. There's science actually shows the people that actually write down their goals. And there's so many things, right? But you write down your goals of what you want to accomplish, that increases your percentage of actually coming to fruition, right? And so I know that oftentimes you're just so used to going and having your goals and you know what they are, and it's habitual for you. But I'm telling you, you write it down on paper, it becomes more real. And so right now, don't wait until next year. I can't stress that enough. Don't wait until January. You have a clean slate. You're going to start over. No, right now, before the end of the year, Write down your goals for 2025. What do you want to accomplish personally, and what do you want to accomplish professionally? And I do believe in both, you guys. Oftentimes people say, what goal do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do in your business? And I don't believe you focus on your business and you let your personal life take a back seat. I've done that and I learned from that. And it's oftentimes if I'm focusing personally, then my business is taking a hit, or if I focus on my business too much, my personal life, right? And then I have mommy guilt and there are all these things that you got to make sure that you're taking care of the things that matter most to you, right? Like for me, I am obsessed with my children. I love being a mom. I've been a mom practically my whole life, I feel like. But you got to make sure that you're taking the time to accomplish the goals that you have personally and professionally, because it's two. If you're doing so great on your professional life, but you're lacking in your personal life, it's going to affect your business sooner or later. It just is. And if you're good in your personal life, but you're not focusing on the things in your business that you know you want to accomplish, then that's going to take a hit as well. And I do believe that you can have it all. I do believe that you can have a beautiful life personally, and you can have a beautiful life that you feel proud of purpose and fulfillment in your business. I really do believe that, and I've done that myself. And I remember a time that I felt torn, that I always felt that I had to choose one or the other. I couldn't just marry the two, until I decided to say, nope, we're going to marry the two. I have a to-do list, and 5 things is personally and 6 is business. And that's okay with me, because that's who I am. And I know that when I'm on the road, if I'm on a call with a customer and I'm picking up my cleaners, for example, or picking up my kid at hockey, whatever the situation is, that makes me feel good. But you got to make sure that you're having and you're contributing your time on the goals that really matter for you. So write down what your goal is for 2025. What do you want to accomplish? And I know that I've seen people do like 5 or 7 things, and I'm telling you right now, all that is fine and dandy. And I'm not saying you can't achieve that, but I would start with like 2 to 3 things that you're going to focus on for 2025. Honestly, I wouldn't go and overwhelm yourself. And you accomplish that by March or April, fantastic, add another one. But what are the things that really matter to you? Start writing them down now. When you write down your goals right now, you're going to end the year strong with clarity. Now you know what that looks like. And if you don't know what you want to accomplish, then I would spend time on number 1, reflect. Reflect on what are the things that really light your heart on fire? What are some of the things that maybe you have allowed to just suppress so much because you weren't thinking that maybe it was possible? It's only possible when you say it is. It's not impossible. Even the word impossible says, I'm possible. So repeat that right now. I'm possible. So setting a goal for yourself is so important, because it allows you to have clarity. It allows you to write it down and know what are the things that I want to accomplish in 2025. And you have to write it down and do it now. If you've already written down your goals, fantastic. Like I said before, just add to it and show what are the things that I need to make sure I bring on in my journey. Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to meet? What are the things that I need to make sure that I'm doing? You got to show up. It's what you do every single day to show up, even if it's in the smallest ways, right? It doesn't mean that every day you're going to be a 10. No one's a 10, 24/7, 365. It just doesn't happen. But what are you consistently producing? 1 minute you might be an 8.2. The next day you might be like a 9.7. You're on fire. The next day you might be a 6. And it's okay. We all have our moments. There's times that I'm like, I don't want to do this thing, right? But what are you doing every single day? Then you get your average. And you got to be at an 8 or higher if you want to see real impactful results. So you got to check in with yourself. And that's the added bonus to 5 is check in with yourself. How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you putting too much on your plate? Because that's real as well. And so having the clarity, you guys, on all those 5 things that I mentioned, as I said, number 1, reflect. What went good? What didn't go so good? And then number 2 is, what is one thing that you could do right now to end the year strong? One goal. It doesn't have to be some major goal that's going to take you 6 months, because we're talking about the end of the year. What's that one thing you can do to end the year strong that's going to make the biggest impact? And like I said, it starts with you, your mental health, your well-being, but you know what that is. If it means calling 5 customers and setting something up for January, do it now. Let's not wait till next year. What can you do now that's in your control that you don't have to wait till next year? And then the third thing I mentioned is declutter. Gotta declutter. Our brains work better. You have more clarity when you declutter your office. Maybe that drawer that's been having a junk drawer the entire year, it's gonna make you feel better when you declutter that, right? And who are you hanging around with? What are the distractions that maybe are not allowing you to be focused because you're too busy with surrounding yourself around people that aren't really impacting your life in a positive way. As hard as that may seem, that's part of decluttering as well. It's not just declutter your mess and your papers and your stuff, but also declutter some of the relationships that aren't serving you. I know that's hard for some people to swallow. And number 4, as I mentioned, your mental health is your number 1 priority. Your physical health, you need to be solid. You are the driver. No one's going to tell you no. No one's going to get in your way more than you will if you're not solid, right? You're solid, you're a machine, you got to take care of you. That's number 1. Water your garden, and it starts with you. And then the last thing, as I mentioned, number 5, is plan your 2025. What are the goals? Write them down, have clarity, and then you add steps. What are the things that I need to do to make sure that this happens? And you reevaluate that, you reassess that. We will have an episode more on goal setting and how to put those suckers on fire in the most beautiful way to ensure that they take flight. They're not just goals written down on paper, but as soon as you write them down, and like I said, if you already have goals and you're like, I already know what I want to accomplish, make sure that you wrote them down. Make sure there's somewhere that you could see it every single day or at least every single week so that you know where you're headed. When you have a target and you know exactly where you're headed, the likelihood of you getting there is that much higher. When you don't know where you're headed, you don't know exactly what it looks like. Again, I say this often, you'll be rolling the dice and hoping it lands your way. That's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm really excited to hear maybe what are you going to do differently next year? How are you going to end the year strong? What are some of the things that you're going to start doing now? Because the time is right now. It's not next year. It's right now. Ending the year strong, calling that person that maybe you haven't spoken to in a long time and you've been hesitating. Take action. When you take action, even at the end of the year when everyone's slowing down, everybody's taking a backseat and just chilling, maybe you're not, right? Do something, take the right action, and I'm telling you, you're going to feel good about it. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and you hit the button below so that you don't miss any future episodes that are coming your way. And I'd love to hear from you. Definitely add your comments on what you've done this year, what went right, what are the things you're going to do differently, or maybe you send this to somebody that needs clarity on something. These are the 5 things I'm telling you. I'm sure I can give you 12 things, and I'm sure you can add other things. But if you do these 5 things, I promise you, you're going to end the year strong and you're going to start the year extremely strong and make things happen.